running because it's too hot in here. I know Vincent has an aircon in his room right now. Okay, so here we go. We are working on solving quadratics by using square roots. Can you hear me clearly? Yeah? Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is we have to separate the squared quantity, right? Yeah, so separate either x squared or the quantity being squared. All right, so then that means we have to move the 27 over and then we have to divide by 5 after. So let's do that. X minus 7 squared. You move the 27 to the right. And then after that, you divide by 5. So this guy will be alone. Now, x minus 7 squared is x minus 7, x minus 7. So if you're wondering why the slingshot takes away the power 2, it's because they come in pairs. So it's like when you have 5 times 5, that's the square root of 25. The square root of 25 is 5, right? So same thing here. Okay, and I'm going to use this as a segue into our next lesson today. So the reason why it's square rootable is because this is a perfect square. You can write it as x minus 7, x minus 7. Yeah, so in other words, what is x minus 7 when you expand it? It's x squared minus 14x plus 49. And you're like, ooh, where did that come from, Mr. Siaga? Remember, if you do your x method for this one, 7 times 7 is 49, right? Negative and negative 7 multiplied together is positive 49, and when you add them, you get negative 14. That's why we were able to factor it as x minus 7, x minus 7. Ooh, you see how those two work now? Don't you love math? It's so fun. Oh, come on now. All right. I know. Okay, but we're going to look at that in a little bit later on. Okay. All right, so going back here, you bring down x minus 7, and then you do this. 32 minus 27, how much is that? That's 5, right? And then over 5 is 1. So what's the square root of 1? It's just going to be plus or minus 1. Are you getting me? Did I go too fast? Sorry. I forgot to check in. Okay, questions? Yeah, because in today's lesson, we can't do it without knowing this. Okay, so now let's get the answers. X is equal to, move that 7 over, it's going to be plus 7. So positive 1 plus 7 is 8, yeah? And negative 1 plus 7 is positive 6. So now there's two answers, and it's not just plus or minus. Yep, so I don't know how we're going to write this. Maybe with a comma. So 8, comma. Oh, there you go. So you have to list them down in brackets. Oh, sorry. My phone. Okay. Let me just put it to silent mode. All right. So submit answer. Boom. And it doesn't matter which one you write first. Yep. So separate the something square and then radical to get the square root. And then 32 minus 27 is 5. Divided by 5 is 1. But the square root of 1 is plus or minus 1. And then to get this, we just did 1 plus 7 is 8. And then negative 1 plus 7 is 6. All right? Okay, so hint, hint, hint. If you need an example for your foldable, you better copy this down. At least the problem. All right. Yeah, this could go for solving by using square roots. Okay, so next one. Ooh, okay, this is a little simpler. Yep, you see the same numbers, 32 and something? Okay. All right, so what do you do again? What do you do again? Can you tell me in the chat what number I'm going to move first? Tell me in the chat what number I'm going to move first. 47. Very good. So we add that to the right side. So you get x minus 4 squared will be equal to 79. Okay, now is that a perfect square? Is there a number in 79 that's a perfect square? Remember your perfect square. 4, 9, 16, 25. I'm also like delaying it because I'm also like thinking of those numbers in my head. I don't think there's something in 79 that's a perfect square. Okay, well, let's try. Okay, now we get the square root of both sides. There you go. So we cancel this and that. X minus 4 is equal to, remember, if you're canceling the radical in the power 2 already, you put the plus or minus 79. Yep. Okay, then you gotta move this guy over, right? So x is equal to plus or minus radical 79. The negative 4 will become positive 4. Hey, honey. Yeah. All right. Okay, so plus or minus radical 79, add 4. Okay, then how do you write that if it's radical? So you put here plus or minus radical 79. You have to go out of the radical sign and then plus 4. And there you go. So you see that? You can separate them by putting the 4 in front just like this if you want to, but I'd rather like write it that way. That's something we didn't see yesterday, right? So yesterday we saw fractions, we saw whole numbers. We also saw decimals. Is this something you can do with decimals? Yes. You can change the radical 79 to a decimal, but I chose this in Delta Math because I wanted you to see what else is possible for this kind of problem. Yep. Uh-huh. All right. Okay, let's try another one and see what else can be seen. All right, solve. Oh, okay, solve the following. Wait, did I click on the right one? Oh, yeah. Solve the following quadratic equation for all values of x. So same thing. So can you tell me what to write on the right-hand side if I'll separate this guy over here? What should be on the right? If you're confused right now, we're moving this guy over. So we change it. Yes, very good. So then to simplify these together, what do they become? What do they become? Please ask questions if you're a little confused, because if you're not asking me questions, like I don't know if you're getting it or not. But if there's one thing that I will keep telling you, if 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 you didn't understand the previous example, don't stress yourself out. Move on. Because every new example, yeah, is different, and if you understand one type of example when it was the last example, then celebrate, because if you're gonna dwell on something you didn't understand, you're just gonna like get more frustrated, you know don't do that. Be nice to yourself. I didn't get it, that's fine, let's move on and then try to get it again in the next example. Yeah, because I'm trying to teach you in a way that works for all, so that's the good thing. hmm So if you understand the only, yeah, if the only thing you get is the last example, that's good. Okay, that's good enough. And then you just practice later on. Yeah, you got this. Come on. All right, so cross these out, yeah, and then bring this down. Then the square root of 4 is plus or minus 2. Okay, and then just move this guys over right there and divide by 3. Yeah? So x is equal to plus or minus 2 plus 1 over 3. Okay, so x is equal to, now just simplify each one. Use positive and negatives. Like positive 2 plus 1 is 3, divided by 3 is 1. But if you use the negative, negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1, right? Over 3, it's going to be negative 1/3. So now it's a combination of a whole number and a fraction. So you remember those examples of parabolas last time? where your x-intercepts like a whole number and a fraction. Yep. Remember, these are the values we're getting. Okay, anyway. So 1, comma, -1, boom. Okay. Hope we got the signs right. Excuse me. There you go. And see how they're doing it? You can also like solve them separately. Like 3x minus 1 equals +2. Then they're separating also the -2. You can do that too. It just requires more work. Yep. Uh-huh. All right. So let's try again. Okay. So how are you? Like scale of 1 through 5. I know these are not the basic ones. Like my regular kids don't see these examples. So yeah, so in a scale of like 1 through 5, like where are you? I just want to like no. Uh-huh. In a scale of 1 through 5, 4. Nice. All right. What about the others? Can say 1. Nobody is saying you have to be at 4, right? That's great, guys. Okay, what about the others? Like I want to check in so I would know like how fast I could go with the last one. Yep. Okay, if you didn't get the first 3, that's fine. You know, it's like playing softball, you know? You practice pitching. The first 100 tries did not work really well. Okay? The 101st attempt, if it was a good pitch, then you're good, right? And okay, here we go. Yeah, I played softball when I was in high school. Hey, I ran fast, you know, when I was a little lighter. Yes. When I was your age, I was like okay, so move this one over. I had so much of sports too. I joined the school drum and lyre, so I was the baton twirler. Know that? Okay. So equals -19, and then the plus 16 will become -16, and then you're gonna divide by 9. I put everything in one place. See? Subtract and then move. When you go to geometry, like you're not gonna like do all the steps in between. You get what I mean? So that's like the level of comfort that yeah you try to like get yourself to. Uh-huh. Okay. Sorry. All right. So let's simplify this. -19 minus 16 will become -35, right? Over 9, and just oh okay then. And then this one is x squared minus 11. And then I realized, oops, I did something wrong. I haven't moved the 11 yet. And this is x squared. So I gotta move the 11 also. Yep. Okay, so I gotta do it again. I should stop talking. I like distracted myself too. Can you close the door, honey? Right here, I guess. Okay, so move this guy over, which is -16. Okay, let me start from the top because okay, it's a little different. All right. Okay, then we have to distribute this. I overlooked that one. I thought like the square was here and I was ready to get a square root, but this one is in front of the group, so we have to distribute. So we go 9x squared minus 99 is equal to -19 minus 16. Why did I put -19 twice? All right. Okay, so now this -99 can still be separated again. So 9x squared is equal to -19 minus 16. The 99 will become plus 99. All right. So now can you give me the total for all of these three? What do they become all together? So 9x squared equals, what do they become? 60 what? 64. Yeah, because that's a -35 you subtract. Okay, so then Yep. Then we can separate the x squared. So divide both sides by 9. So x squared is equal to 64 over 9. And then get the square root. Boom. So what is it now? X is equal to plus or minus. Square root of 64 is 8. And square root of 9 is 3. Alright, so that was a little different because, see, like I thought there was a square outside. I didn't realize right away that the square is inside the parentheses. Yes, honey, mommy's working. Okay, so then we're gonna do here plus or minus 8 over 3. There you go. All right, submit answer, and there. Okay, now the next one will be fun. You will try to answer as many as you can in the time allotted. And what are you going to do? You are going to complete the square. And how would you do it? You will be given something like this. And then there's a blank. Yep. We want to be able to change this trinomial into something like x plus, something squared. So we can get the square root later on, right? Because these method works if we can get the square root of something. So what are you going to put here so that the trinomial will become x plus 2 squared? What's the technique? What's the shortcut? Like when you do x plus 2, right? That's x squared, so that's your x squared. That's 2x, and this is another 2x, right? That's where your 4x is coming from. But what's the last portion here? What's 2 times 2? What's 2 times 2? 4. So this number here is actually 4. So if that's 4, then it can be written as x plus 2 squared. Okay, but A, I hear you like, oh, that's too long. No, you're not going to do this all the time. That's why I'm going to teach you the shortcut. Okay, can you find a pattern here? I'll show you something else. If I have something like this would be 9. Can you find a pattern? Come on now. You got this. Find a pattern. I'll give you another one. Oh, shoot. I'll give you another one. I already used 4. Okay, can you find a pattern for me? What's the pattern? Come on! Find a pattern. How am I getting this in my head? Come on, come on, come on. I made, okay, that in the last one, it's kind of obvious. Divide and multiply. Yes! What are you going to divide by? What are you going to divide by? You're right, you're right. Come on, share in the chat. What am I dividing? So what do I look for? Divide by 2. Very good. Half of the number and then squared. That's it. Mic drop. End of lesson. Okay, so, yep, you get half of this. What's half of 6? 3. Square it, 9. Half of 8? 4. Square it, 16. So once you change them to this, yeah, you can already factor it as x plus half the number again. You get what I mean? Yep, and that gives you another technique to multiply binomials. So that means if you are multiplying x plus 6 to the second power, then you kind of know what the answer looks like. Oh my god. Okay, here you go. Alright. Okay, so that is our goal, to find a number here so we can factor it as a perfect square, yeah? So that later on when we're solving, we can just get the square root. So now are you ready? You're going to do it really fast. Let me show you how it looks like before you click on it. It's this one. See? Yep, so you have to get 16 correct in 1,000 seconds. Yep. You got 50.9? Wait, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Okay, okay. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So, yep. Okay, ready? So click start. So remember the pattern. Get half, and then I don't know if it will give us the same question. Okay, well just press start. Whatever. Do it. Okay, I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, because do it. Do it. Okay, half and then square. Half and then square. Vincent, if you're done, you can go to Schoology. If you already know how to do that, there's something exactly like that in Schoology. I think it's the very first one. Uh-huh. Okay. Do it. Do it. It's not as hard as I thought it was. It kind of woke me up. Oh, oh yeah. Yeah, because you had to wake up early, huh? Hey, are they testing in school though? Because I heard some testing sites closed because they're bringing mobile tests to the schools. But then I saw in social media that he tested last week. Yeah, so I think you don't have to test again. I mean, no, I should not say that. Yeah, but all I know for sure is that they're bringing the mobile tests, whatever, to the schools. But in some places they didn't get to test all students. So yeah, just be careful, in case somebody, yeah, just be careful all the time. All right. So let us know when you're done. How do I monitor the scores? Let me go out of this thing. Done? All right. Let's see. How do I? Okay. Let me see. That's our first time to like combine a time stuff with. Woo! Look, 100%. That's so cool. I want to see how it was. So, and how did it look like? Oh, so that's the time to beat. So you got 100% in 50.9 seconds. Okay, so Alyssa, like, what's your time? 50.9 seconds? What the? Okay, okay. We should do more of this time stuff. I love it. 45.9. Sorry, Vincent. I'm like, boom, 45.9. Okay. Excuse me. Brian here says 31.4. All right. 40.5. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. All right, now take that momentum with you and go to this Schoology thing, and you will do exactly the same banana. Okay, where is it now? There, the first check for understanding. The first check for understanding. 1 through 6. Yes. Oh, and Luke is already done. All right, and Joshua also. Okay, okay. I get you. I get you. Man, okay. All right. So here we go. Complete the square for the expression 34.3. That you did it again? Oh, okay, okay, okay. Well, that's close to Brian's 31.4. Okay, this time though, you have to do like a little extra part. You have to factor it. You have to write it as a factor of itself. Yep. Okay. So come on, do it, do it, do it. So what? The first blank is enter the value that you will add. So that's the thing that you did in Delta. So if it's 10, get half and then square it. So that goes in the first blank. The second blank is how are you going to factor it after you complete the square? Well, how do you write down the factor? It's just like x plus or minus, it depends on the middle term, and then the half number that you took. So if the half number here is 5, then it's going to be x plus 5, x plus 5. Okay, can you do this real quick? Okay, and tell me when you're done. If you guys are done, try to move on to the next Schoology thing. Yeah. Yeah, I'll teach you how to do that. I'm just waiting for them to do this first. Yeah. While waiting though, you can start on that if you want. I forgot my coffee. No, it's good. Excuse me. Let me know when you're done. And if you have questions, let me know. You guys are so quiet. You guys are not asking questions. I like it better when there's like questions and questions and questions in the chat. Okay, some of you haven't tried it. So, do you have questions? Done with the schoolboy stuff. The Schoology? You're done? Okay, nice. Alright, so 6 over 6. Alright. Questions, please. OMG, I did it backwards. Ooh. Okay, so like do it again, yeah? Yeah? Okay. If you haven't started it, do you have questions for me so I can help you? You know? But if you're not asking questions, I don't know how to help you. I didn't do it right. Okay, so let me show you another example. Sure. Yep. Alright, I'm gonna come up with my own. Suppose I have x squared plus... No, that's too big. Plus 18x. So what if I see something like this? Yeah? Okay, so how do I get the first answer? I divide this by 2, which is 9. And then I go 9 times 9 is 81. So that's the first blank. This number is the first blank. Now the second blank is you're going to factor this into something like this or write it 2 times, which is the same thing. But you don't have to think hard. It's just going to be x, right? And then the half number that you got here was 9. So it's just that same number. So x plus 9, x plus 9. Yep. That's it. So the first blank is this number 81, depending on the thing. And then the second blank is for the factor. Now what if there's like an odd number like this? Suppose x squared plus 3x. So that's odd, right? Well, you get half of it. That's 3 over 2. And then how do you square 3 over 2? Well, 3 times 3 is 9. And then 2 times 2 is 4. Yep. You just multiply the fraction by itself. Yeah, so 3 halves times 3 halves. Okay, then how do you factor it? Well, it's just x plus 3 halves, x plus 3 halves. Like, done. Does that make sense? I hope it helped a little bit. All right, any more questions? Can you help me with the second one? Okay, so let's say I'm gonna change the oh, why is it not writing? Jeez. Okay, I'm gonna change the 4 though to 6. Okay? Alright. So what's half of 6? It's 3, right? Then yeah, we're dividing it by 2. So negative 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then you go 3 times 3, 9. That's the first blank. When you factor, it's the same thing that you're doing here, but you follow the sign. So it's going to be x minus the half number, which is 3, and then x minus 3. So do the same thing. I just changed your 4 to 6. I hope that helped a little bit. Oh! Yeah. We'll get there in a little bit. Okay, so, all right. So I hope that helped you guys a little bit. if you're going to work on that later on, you can also do that. So I want to be able to help you though before we go. So I'm gonna move on to the last piece. Yeah. Okay. All right. So hint, hint, hint. If you guys need examples for your project or foldable, you better write down some stuff on a piece of, on your notebook. Okay. Here we go. Solve each quadratic by completing the square. All right. So how do we do it? So this guy, it's not, it's not 0, but it's just, it could be any number. Now I want you to focus on this one first. X squared minus 8x. Do what we were doing. Get half of 8. What is half of 8? Half of 8 is 4, right? And then now you multiply the 4 by itself. 4 times 4 is what? 16. Good. So you write down x squared minus 8x plus 16 equals, you copy that extra number right there. But if it's an equation, you're going to be fair. Whatever you did to the left, you also have to do to the right. So that means you also have to add 16 over here. Make sense? Does that make sense? So you're still doing the same thing, getting half of 8 is 4, 4 times 4 is 16, but now you're doing that extra step because it's now an equation. So whatever you add to the left, you're going to add to the right. Is it always add? That's a good question. Yes, because when you get a half of a positive, it's positive. When you get the half of a negative, it's negative, but when you square it, the sign is just always positive. Okay, so now how do we factor this again? It's x minus the half number. What was the half number that you gave me earlier? It was 4, right? So x minus 4 squared equals, no, it's negative 15 plus 16. It's just 1. Now, does that look familiar? Does that look familiar? Is that square rootable already? What do you guys think? Yes! Okay, so see, that's our only goal, to complete the square so we can factor. Yeah, why is it called completing the square? Because this is a perfect square trinomial. The trinomial can be factored as something squared. Yep. So now it's a square rootable. So x minus 4 is equal to, cross out, cross out. Square root of 1 is plus or minus 1. Yeah? So now move the 4 over. So x is equal to plus or minus 1 plus 4. So the answers will be, I forgot the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. Negative 1 plus 4 is 3. Okay, did I put an answer bank on this one? I forgot what I did last year. Yeah, I put an answer bank. So 5 and 3. Is there such thing as 5 and 3? There is, right? Okay. Alright, let's try an odd one, okay? I'm going to leave this for you because that's even. Yes, so when is this method best to use? It's best for equations that have an even number next to x, because it's easy to find half of it, right? But let's see, what if it's odd? So x squared plus 7x. Okay, now in your head, what is half of 7? Well, 7 over 2. Don't freak out, just put over 2. Yep. But you have to square it. So squaring means you go 7 times 7 is 49. 2 times 2 is 4. That's it. Okay, then you're going to write here plus 49 over 4. And whatever you get, you also have to do it on the right. Remember, it's always plus on the right because you're like balancing it. Okay, so complete the square and then now factor. Factor. So x plus y plus, because that middle sign is plus. Whatever the half number that you get, which was 7 over 2. And then just write it like this. Equals, okay, let's just put this all in one fraction. This is over 1. Yeah? So you want it to have a denominator of 4, so you're going to times by 4 over 4. Make sense? Okay, and look what's going to happen. This will be 120. But what's 120 plus 49? Isn't that 169? Ooh. What's 169 square root? Come on now. You've seen that before. What number, when you multiply by itself, gives you 169? Not 69, like 169. Alright. What is it? What's the square root of 169? Very good. Just out. Okay, so let's get that square root thingy. There you go. And Giselle said it's 13. So we go x plus 7 halves equals 13 over, I forgot my plus or minus. 13 over 2. There. Okay, but we gotta get the x by itself. So x is equal to plus or minus 13 over 2 minus 7 over 2. Okay, let's get the answers. 13 minus 7, how much is that? 9, right? Oh, why 9? Why did I think of 9? 6. 6 over 2 is 3. Okay. And then negative 13 minus 7 is negative 20. Divided by 2 is negative 10. Are there answers like that in the answer bank? If there is, then we got it already. Why is it so hot today? Okay. All right. So everything from here onwards is what we did yesterday, right? When I say yesterday, this last meeting. Okay, the only new thing is the part where you have to add that extra number so you can factor it like this. So you can make it a perfect square. Yeah? Okay, more questions? More questions? Remember, as you go through the examples, like copy one maybe that you can use for your foldable or your project. All right. Okie dokie. All right, one more. One more. One last. I'm gonna clear this one. Yeah, because if I do everything, then there's nothing else you're gonna do. Okay, here we go. Pick a number. Pick a number. Pick a number. We've got 79. I'm having trouble for 10. Sure. Okay, so x squared. Can I just like scroll down so I have more space? I'm not used to writing big. I'm writing small. So x squared minus 26x equals negative 9. Okay, what's half of 26? What's half of 26? What's half of 26? Come on, help me out. What's half of 26? 13. Very good. Now what's 13 times 13? Oh, Giselle, you should know that. What's 13 times 13? You were the one who gave me the answer earlier. 169. There you go. Okay, and then we have to add that 169 over here. And I can see where your confusion is coming from because this is not a perfect square anymore, huh? But instead, you have to round it off to the nearest tenth, so you're going to use a calculator. So this will be x minus 13 squared is equal to 160. Yep, then you do the thingy-majiggy. So cancel. X minus 13 is plus or minus root of, 160. And then move this guy over. So you have x is equal to 13 plus or minus a radical 160. Okay, so how do we do that? Calculator. Oops. All right, so you go, first it's 160 positive, right? So square root, I don't know what comes first here, 160 or the square root? I'm not sure. Okay, I have to put the number first before the square root. And then that's the positive square root of 160. Now I have to add 13. Okay, so the first answer is 25.5. So x 25 point, what was it? I forgot. 6.9, so we need to round that off later on. Okay. All right, now I gotta do the negative 160, yeah? Okay, so I go square, what's the square root again? Here. So square root of 160. Oh, no. You have to do 160 first. There you go. And then square root. And I have to make that negative. How do I make it? This is the negative, right? Okay, so negative 12 point something. And then I have to add 13, so plus 13. It's better to use a decimal scientific calculator because you can like write them all in one line. Okay, and then equals. So 0.3508. 3508. Okay, so just round off to the nearest 10. So let's see in the answer bank which are closest. So do I see something like 25 point something? Yeah, 25.7. And then 0.35 will become your 0.4. Yep, so that means if you get something, this is number 10 by the way, that is not a perfect square, you yeah, use it what do we call, change them to decimal. Change them to decimal. Yep. If we were in the classroom though, we're gonna make that challenging. I'm gonna make you like change it into simplest radical form. What do I mean by that? You know, like 160 is 16 times 10, right? So 160 is 16 times 10. So square root of 16 is 4. If I could check your work by hand, I'm gonna make you do it like this, just like in delta math, you know? Like you can leave everything in radical sign. Yep. Okay. They're the same. But for this Schoology thing, just change it to decimal. You got number 11! That's awesome! You mind sharing so they can verify what they got? Okay. 12.8 and negative 0.8. So if you're getting number 11, you guys verify what Vincent got. 12.8 and negative 0.8. Thank you for sharing that. All right, you guys. So, before we go, I want to make sure that you sign in. Look at that. Not all of you sign in yet. Finish that. Yep, finish that. See, since I have a lot of time, you know, like at lunchtime, I'm able to like record your stuff on the day off. So, yeah, which is I think a good reminder for you if you guys forget it. Okay, hang on. So 429. Nico is here. Nico, you always forget to sign in, honey. Yeah, and on the days that I might forget to check the participants list, um, you know, you might be marked absent. So Gibson is here. Um, Aubrey is. I remember admitting Aubrey earlier. Aubrey, are you here? Kimra, Jessica, yes, is here. LaTroyce is here. LaTroyce, you missed it yesterday? What happened? You okay? Everything at home okay? And then Richard. Richard, I remember you texted me. Did I remember to do it? Not texted, but Schoology message. Like, I got 70 plus messages Monday, man, and I don't know if I forgot something. So you see what I made them, yeah, you see what I made them do over here? I made them write down what I need to grade for them in case I forgot to do it for you. I'm so sorry, honey. Yeah, that Monday with no class, I got so many messages about makeup work. Yeah. I was here. All right, there you go. So, yep, then I gotta fix that one for you. Okay, so yes, if there's anything that I need to grade, yeah, just you can if you don't know the title, just tell me if it's Schoology or Delta Math, and I'll be able to find it. Okay. All right, you guys. Finish up whatever you need to finish. Delta math as well. Yep, I'll wait till like lunchtime to record them again. Uh-huh. Yeah, 'cause it's boring during lunch. I have an hour and 40. What am I gonna do? My kids are zooming. I can't be loud in the kitchen. Okay. Alright. So bye guys. Happy weekend. I'll see you. Be good. Be safe. Take care of your loved ones, okay? Bye 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 bye. Have a nice weekend too, honey. Bye.